Today we are going to do an example on DH parameter notation scheme. This is an RP type configuration, that is revolute and prismatic. Over here a revolute motion is going to be performed, and with the link between 2 and this end effector, a prismatic motion is going to be performed. The given values are within this example are theta 1, which is 120 degree, and the displacement which was done between these two prismatic joint, that is D2, is 200 millimeters. Before solving this problem, what we have to do, we have to create the principal axis frame within this configuration. So I am going to create these principal axis frame on these joints. So with this origin, as the motion is going to be performed in such a direction, so the z axis is going to be created in this direction. Okay. Then with respect to rule offered by Dennevit and Hardenberg, that the x axis must be perpendicular to this z axis. Okay. So this is perpendicularness, and with the same rule, if we are going to put our hand in such a manner that the thumb represents the x axis and the x represents our fingers, the y direction is going to be created over here. Okay, this is y actually. So this is the principal axis frame for this joint. Now for the second joint, what is between this joint 2 and this bar, that the motion is going to perform in a translation manner, in such a manner. So the z is going to be created over here, and with this diagram, as per the rule, the x axis must be perpendicular to this z axis, which can be created in this direction, and this is perpendicular to z, and this x axis. And with respect to right hand thumb rule, if we are going to place our palm in such a manner, the y direction is going to be within the screen. Okay. Other thing is that for finding the frame at this joint between this link 2 and the end effector, with this, the last frame which we created with respect to end effector, which should be same. So in the similar manner, this z axis is going to be created over here. The x axis must be perpendicular to z, and the y axis is going to be created in such a manner. So in such a manner, we can create the principal axis frame on these joints. Now for the one more thing, the theta and d2 are representing this diagram over here. Theta 1 is here, the rotation that can be performed by this link, and the translation which is going to be performed by this link 2 is represented by d2. You can see that for our easiness, we can create these frames in such a manner, but we have to keep all the frames in our mind with respect to the diagram. So as per the Dennevit-Hardenberg notation scheme, what we have studied earlier, the first parameter which we have to find is represented by di, which is called as joint offset. This is di actually. Okay. The second thing which we have to perform, that by keep a rotation about z axis, so that the x axis is going to be parallel with common normal, which is represented by theta I, and it is called as joint angle. The next thing which we have to perform, that we have to track a path on common normal, so that in x direction, so that the intermediate frame is going to be reached to the next frame, and which is represented by ai, and this is called as link length. And at last we have to keep the z axis parallel to the line which is perpendicular to the common normal, which is represented by alpha I, and this is called as twist angle. So while finding the parameters between two joints as per the Danavid-Hutton notation scheme, we have to find these parameters between two links. Okay. So with reference to this frames, keeping in mind the first joint is going to be created between base link 0 and link 1. So I am going to write over here joints, in this axis joints. Okay. So with respect to this, the di is the distance between the common normal from the origin of frame. So over here you can see that the joint 1 frame and the joint 0 frame and joint 1 frame have the same origin. So there is no common normal which is going to be created, and with respect to that, or the distance between these two origins is 0. So we do not need to track this distance, and with respect to that, the value of this joint notation scheme is going to be 0. We followed this scheme that if this is z with this frame, this is y, and this is x. Okay. And if it has with the DH notation scheme, and the other joint is going to be lying over here, I am just keeping the DH notation scheme and drawing the same frame which was created over here. Okay. This is y1, this is x1, and you can see that these two frames are lying over here. So in the earlier DH notation scheme video, we saw that we have to track this distance which is represented by di, but over here these two frames are lying at the same origin, so they do not need to track any distance. So with respect to that, the di is going to be 0. Next thing is that we have to do a rotation about z axis, so that the axis is going to be parallel to the common normal. So with respect to this, keeping in mind, if we can see that this joint 1 and this link 1 and link 0 have a common axis about z. Okay. So what we have to do with respect to this, if we are going to make a rotation about z axis, and that is going to be represented over here by theta 1, okay, in this diagram. So with the same, I am going to write theta 1, and the value of theta 1 is already given, which is about 120 degree. Okay, this is 120 degree. So I am writing this 120 degree over here. Next thing is that for finding the link length and twist angle, you can see over here there is no distance between this link 0 and link 1. So the link length is going to be 0, and the twist angle is to perform to keep the z axis is parallel to the common normal by doing a rotation about x axis. And over here you can see that the z axis in this direction. So by doing a rotation about x axis in clockwise manner by 90 degree, so this z axis is going to be parallel with this line. Okay. So this should be written by 90 degree. Okay. So these are the values for joint 1. Now for finding the values of joint 2, it was given the question that between these two joints, that is joint 1 and joint 2, there is a translation motion about z axis which is represented by d2. So and about z axis, and first of all with respect to dh parameter, what we have to do? We have to do translation about z axis. So with respect to that, we have to write in di, that is d2 equal to 200, and I am going to write in meters, that is 0.2 meter over here. Okay. With respect to that, there is one more statement which is given by dh parameter, that if the final frame and its previous frame are in similar manner, with respect to which all the parameters with respect to joint angle, link length and twist angle is going to be 0. This is another consideration with respect to this parameter. So with this equation, we can find the homogeneous transformation matrix by filling the values of this joint 1 and joint 2 in these homogeneous transformation matrix after multiplication these 4 matrices with respect to dh parameters, and with respect to that we got these equations. Actually this is going to be written in such a manner because we are trying to find a point P in space which is going to be projected in frame 0. So with respect to that, the final matrix which we are trying to find is we need to project point 2 in frame 0. So with respect to that, we have to find the point of frame 1 in 0 frame, and then the second matrix which we are trying to find is point in frame 2 to frame 1. So in such a manner you can find the final homogeneous transformation matrix. I already done this by putting the value and keeping the end effector homogeneous transformation matrix, which I am going to show you in the next slide. So first I have to erase this. So this is the dh parameter which we already found. This is the homogeneous transformation matrix which we got after doing these 4 transformation. So after putting the values in this homogeneous transformation matrix, that is for joint 1, these 4 parameters are going to be put in this value. For alpha we have to find 90, and for theta we have to fill, which is given by 120 degree. So after filling we got this equation, and for joint 2 we have d2 equal to 0.2 meter. So with respect to that, the second equation is going to be find over here. So by multiplying both equation we can project 0.2, or with the help of this what we got this equation, that is we have to project a point from frame 2 to frame 0. So in such a manner, by multiplication these 2 matrices we got this value, but we have to compare this with end effector homogeneous transformation matrix. So whatever I told you, which the final matrix is going to be, comes in such a manner. So after this what you have to do, this is the homogeneous transformation matrix after multiplication which we got for projecting of point P from frame 2 to frame 0. After this what you have to do, this is the homogeneous transformation matrix for end effector, which is going to be equated to the homogeneous transformation matrix achieved by multiplication the 2 transformation matrices. After this what I am trying to show you, that by filling the value or keeping equating these equation, we got the final tool position in a principal axis frame. So with respect to this, by equating these values with respect to links to and effector, we found 12 equation that we have, that nx equal to c1, ox equal to 0, sorry, ax equal to s1. So in such a manner you got these different equations, and what we have to do, we have to just put our value of d2 and theta. We found the final equation in such a manner. Okay, so this is the final equation matrix which we got, or final position with respect to our notation scheme. There is another software which I am going to show you or validate this value with the help of a software that is called RoboAnalyzer, which was developed by IIT Delhi. So I am going to take you on that. So this is basically a RoboAnalyzer software. So with respect to a problem statement, I am going to select a 2 degree of freedom robotic arm which has a motion of first revolute and then prismatic. After clicking over here, the configuration is going to be changed, and with respect to our parameters which we found with respect to our problem statement, what we have to do, first of all, the value which we found in joint, you kindly note these parameters. Actually I tried already, so these parameters are shown. So I am going to show you or tell you that in which manner we have to fill these values in this software. So the first value which we find in with respect to joint offset is 0. Kindly note the equation which is already I am going to show you over here. So this is the final equation. The parameters which we found over here is this is AI, that is called link length, alpha is twist angle, di is joint offset, and theta is joint angle. So by putting these values in this software, so joint offset value is 0 in our case. With respect to joint angle which we found with respect to 120 degree, with this software that should be variable. So with respect to that value, you have to fill that value over here in joint angle 90. After this, what you have to do, you have to fill the value of link length, that is going to be 0 in our case, and then with respect to joint angle, we have to fill the value of, over here you can see that the joint angle is going to be variable, so that value is going to be filled over here 120 degree. After that, what you have to do, for prismatic joint, the values you found, the joint angle is 0 degree, and with respect to the link length which we found is 0, and the twist angle is also 0. The distance which we have to use with respect to joint offset, which is around 200 millimeters given, but in this software you have to fill the values in meter. So with this you can put the value. These final values actually try to simulate that what is the final orientation matrix which you got. So by putting the value or clicking on forward kind of analysis and update it, so you can see that the final matrix which we got with respect to our theoretical content is similar in this case. So I am just showing you. So over here this is 0.5 minus 0.5, that is 0.08. So over here you can see that this equation is similar. So in such a manner you can, over here that is 0.1 is written, but over here it is actually meter used. So in such a manner you can validate the problem statement with the help of these software. So this is all for this problem. Thank you.